Hi, how you doing? My name is Carol. Welcome to Needing a Meeting. I will be your host today. Good to see you, Henny. Good to see you, Plant Freak. Good to see you, everybody else here in and out of the chat. I been thinking about the cultiverse today, and just I just can't get past, this one period of time. There were so many times when some big thing was in the works. Hi. And the pastor would call for, hi, Ben, for, a sacrificial offering to make this thing happen that was for the kingdom of God. But this one in particular, it was a very exclusive, hi, Tammy, very exclusive and historical piece of property that, you know, we weren't equipped as a church to maintain, truthfully. But people were asked to make sacrifices for it to be purchased for the church nonetheless. And I don't remember whether it was mentioned that they should take out mortgages on their homes, but a lot of people with children did just that.
Did they lose their homes?
Hey, Ben.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, there it is. Okay. I see it. There. Go on. I was wanting to hear this.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked about this before, but I'm going in depth today. And we ended up not getting the property, which good for the property that didn't happen, because we didn't, like I said, we weren't equipped to deal with a historical, amazing property in the middle of California that had like 12 acres around it.
Wow.
It was a basically a getaway place for a very wealthy person, and it was built in the late 19th, early 20th century, and had some beautiful. All of the buildings were beautiful. The outbuildings. It was just, I mean, nobody knew this place existed, but it was amazing. And so the sale did not happen. We did not get the property. And if it was an honorable endeavor, then an honorable man would have seen to it that everybody who took out second mortgages on their homes and put it in the offering bucket.
Oh my gosh.
Would get their money back. I don't care. I don't care if it's supposed to be an offering unto the Lord. It was for a specific purpose, for a specific project. And family after family after family got foreclosed on and had to leave their homes.
Oh my God.
One family, I did not find out until much later. There's something that your headset seems to be doing where it makes this noise and then it causes an echo.
There, my fan.
Okay. But that to my knowledge, nobody got any money back from that. But we ended up renting a property that was in a decent part of town, a big industrial office type complex thing. And the next thing you know, the kids are, all going to college that are college age. There's 4 of them. And they're driving $60,000 and $70,000 vehicles. So you tell me, am I supposed to ignore that?
Boy, that's what we call endearment.
And I did until I couldn't, until I could no longer stomach being there.
Yeah.
And, so there's something in me that just has this undercurrent that burns,
Yeah. No, that's very angering. That's
you know?
extremely angering.
Yeah.
I can see why, especially given that particular example, because you're talking the visual visually verified victimization of people. You had examples right in front of you. We're not talking somebody nameless, some family in Kenya or something like. We're talking people that you could see every day that were paying the consequences for this action,
Mhm.
which is clearly I mean, before you're talking a little bit of misappropriation of funds, but given that they wound up spending it on something similar. Okay, you can.
And okay, let's play devil's advocate here, and that those two things are not related. That God just blessed them in some other capacity that they all of a sudden had all this money to do all this stuff with. Let's
Okay.
just play that advocacy. Nonetheless, how do you reconcile, even if that happened,
Mhm.
how do you reconcile as a human being people having to move their babies out of their homes while your
Yeah,
grown kids are driving these expensive vehicles, but able to buy, diamonds this big for their fiancés? And come on now.
yeah,
How do you flaunt that in the face
yeah.
of these people who made the ultimate sacrifices? Not
Sure.
including their own mortal lives, even
Mm.
though there were a couple of people that did sacrifice their own mortal lives on doing stuff for the church. But I
Oh
won't
my
get into
gosh.
that today.
Oh, that's horrible.
It's just a correlation thing,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, correlation is not necessarily causation and all that. But yeah, like you were saying, you still have, even if that didn't have anything to do with it, you still have the specific example of them holding you to this standard, but them holding themselves to this standard. Well, you don't understand. We've been blessed. Well,
Mhm.
why do you expect me to sell what I've been blessed with then?
Yeah. Henny, I was not taken advantage of. I did not own a home that I could mortgage. I didn't own anything that I could mortgage. I didn't even have good credit at the time because I had sacrificed several
Um,
several credit cards on the chopping block for
mm,
that cause, that for that particular church.
this is in California.
Yeah. And
How?
and it happened to several families, Henny, not
Mm,
just one. One of the families ended up, quote unquote, founding a church in a different state. Um, and that's all I'm going to say about that. But they stayed connected to this church.
was it
I just
Tony? Oh, never mind.
Go ahead.
I was going to ask if it was Tony. Can't remember his last name. Because there was a big thing going on about him. Tony, not Iommi. That's the guitarist for Black Sabbath. I can't remember his name now. Oh well, forget it.
Well, anyway, I wanted to say hi to Tammy, to Lene. Hey, hi, Kristen. Hi, Zelda. Good to see you. The church was not very big, Zelda. Not very big at all. And I've talked to a person that left a little bit before I did. We're still in touch. We're very good friends, and we have this in common. And I asked, did she think that I don't know, I don't remember how I asked, but I was just thinking, should I name names,
Mm,
you know? And because it's such a small organization, I don't know that
oh,
for some reason I have not been able to bring myself to do it. And she warned me of defamation suits, but it's only defamation if it's not true.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
But the burden of proof would be on me to come up with the receipts on how I prove it,
Mm.
how I prove what I'm saying.
But can
You
I
know?
ask if it was Tony Alamo?
No, it was not Tony Alamo. Tony Alamo was long dead by this time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm just,
what are
I'm,
we talking about? I caught part of it, like expensive cars and going to college, but
The people that mortgaged their homes to buy this property, and then the sale of the property did not happen. They did not get the church did not get the property. To my knowledge, nobody who took out mortgages on their homes got any money back to be able to, not be foreclosed on, and several families were foreclosed on. Hi, Huck. Hi, Sandy. Good to see y'all. Oh, and so I was just, for some reason, I was not affected. I did not have a home that I could mortgage at that time, but I would have,
yeah.
I would have if I bought a place, and I would have lost it just like everybody else that had to move themselves and their babies and their families out of their homes, you know.
and so you're just frustrated for these people and the wrongdoing
I'm just
of the
very angry. It's like I have this anger that's like the deeper current of of the river. It looks like it's really moving slowly over the top of it because it's deep. The current's moving just as fast as you see when it's shallow, but that
Right.
undercurrent is strong. And that's how my anger feels.
Yeah.
So what exactly are you angry about? Are you angry that the people got deceived? Are you angry that you didn't do something? Like,
I'm angry at how bamboozled we all were.
okay.
Mm.
Okay. So you're angry at other people's actions toward the cult and how they were really dishonest and
Because
abusive.
if it were an honorable endeavor, the money was donated for a specific purpose,
Yeah.
not just, make a sacrificial offering to the Lord just to be blessed. No, it was for a specific thing. We were supposed to make this thing happen.
Mhm.
And by this time, I'm all tapped out. I have no no ability to get credit of any kind, you
Mhm.
know, and all of my money went to this. All of it,
So,
including an inheritance after my dad died,
Oh,
you know.
so if you could have any resolution to this, like if the universe just said, here's a blank piece of paper, what would you like to see happen in this
Well,
instance?
it's more a thing that's impossible because you can't go back.
Mhm.
But I would so respect this man and his cronies
mm.
if he'd done the honest thing. If he'd
Mhm.
had a conscience to do the honest thing and give everybody who donated their homes, essentially, their money back so that maybe they don't have to lose their homes, go into
Right.
foreclosure and lose their homes.
Is he still in charge of the church?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's so still around today.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. For
Mm-hmm.
some reason, I thought this guy died off, but I could see that would be even worse because you're reminded of that and it's fresh in it constantly gets thrown back in your face. So, ooh, yeah.
Yeah. To be
I
fair, Lene, this, not to that extreme, but a lot of evangelists are extremely wealthy with pastors for profit, i.e., Joel Osteen and Joyce Myers. Let's be fair and say that they've got millions of people donating, maybe $5 and $10 a day. That's millions of dollars, from hundreds of thousands of people. Let's maybe make it a little bit more realistic. There's never been more than 100 people in this church.
Oh, wow.
So the only way to come up with that kind of money is to have people get their homes foreclosed on with taking out mortgages.
right. And I think to, to remember when we say church, we're not talking about a healthy church where people go, like this was a cult.
Yes.
So
It
I
was a
think
cult.
that's the difference. So maybe we should not say church and we should say cult because I think sometimes it's hard to differentiate between especially people who go to church and find a benefit for them in religion. Like, there are people that do that. And,
Nobody would show up at that church if there weren't some kind of benefit that they feel they're getting from it, including me.
Right. But I think in your case, like that's a hard one. And I don't have my computer up, so I can't see any comments or anything.
I want to address Henny's question. It seems hard to prove with receipts. Yeah, because I don't have any way to come up with those kinds of receipts. But you call it out by name. We're getting that headphone thing again, Ben. I'm pretty sure it's your headphones. It gets this little high-pitched hum buzz, electronic buzz thing, and then it echoes. It's not all the time. It's intermittent.
Is it from the speaker
No.
on the laptop?
No, it's not. It seems hard to prove with receipts, but you call it out by name, allows others to be aware of the deceit of this cult that masquerades behind religion. What do you think? Maybe someday, Henny, and I'm going to be perfectly honest here. I'm scared to do that. Okay. This person is a very cunning, I believe, heartless, cutthroat, maybe even vindictive person.
And it sounds small enough that, you're not talking a mega church where you have some safety of they're a public figure and this and that, where that doesn't seem to necessarily be the case in this instance. So, yeah.
Let's see, crabgrass. Sounds like Scientology. It's, there's no original cult leader. They all use the same methods. There's nothing unique about any of them, and I am in touch with others who have left the church, the cult. I have a very good friend that I still keep in touch with, and she's who I talked to recently. I kind of went to her to say, should I name names? Do I dare? And, and I still don't feel like this overwhelming, burning need to reveal the name of this cult.
I mean, chances are it is a smaller church of a larger. There's a lot of cults that are like that, where you'll have one church that may be part of this, and you find out it's part of a global movement, but not. These individual cells aren't necessarily in communication with each other like some other larger cults. It's just it's the same thing you find it everywhere. Like MLMs are the same way. Not all MLMs are related, but they're all pretty much frauds.
How else am I to interpret what I saw?
Yeah.
And so go ahead.
Are they a smaller faction of a larger thing?
No, it's a completely independent, non-denominational, affiliated thing. So yeah, I don't even get to hide behind an umbrella of any kind. It's its own thing.
I was hoping maybe, but I didn't mean to interrupt you. Sorry.
Well, and the biggest personal cost to me was by doing what quote unquote other men of God, including the pastors of the other churches that I was part of, said and not what they did. I was celibate for 16 years during that whole period. And so the only thing that I wanted really out of life, even before I had my son that I did have and gave up for adoption, was to have more babies. And for some reason I was thinking about that this morning, that's, by the time I got into my 40s, my, early to mid 40s, I was just like, nah, I don't want to do it now.
Understandably so.
But before then, that's all I wanted out of life. That is it. That's all I was asking of life, was more kids.
So then you feel robbed by your ability to have more children because of the situation you were in. And you're taking that and seeing how the people were robbed of their homes. So you guys were all robbed. It just looks differently. And could that be the underlying thing, that maybe that it's not the houses? I could be wrong. I'm not right.
Well, I
Could it
mean,
be
it's never a good
more-
thing when a family has to move out of their home because they've been foreclosed on.
That's so terrible.
It's never a good thing. I mean,
Really,
these are people with young kids, teenagers. What a terrible thing to have to go through as a teenager, not having to give up your room, your only space that you have. And
well, and we know how difficult it is to live on the street or be in a tent and be homeless, and that's, yeah. Gosh, that's so tough. I'm so sorry.
well, I mean, it is what it is. I don't, I don't have the emotional attachment to it that now that I did then. I'm afraid I would name names, but I don't have anything to lose. Family, money, assets. I don't worry about me. I'm also Scorpio. We sting and kick ass. Yeah, I could use a little Scorpio kick whoop ass, can of whoop ass I could open, but I don't know why I'm afraid to name the name. I've not pinned that down yet.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it kind of makes sense though, with defamation laws being what they are. Although, yeah, it still wouldn't be defamation because it's true. But yeah, the whole
But
thing.
I would have the burden to prove it.
Yes.
And I don't,
Yeah.
nobody's going to give me their notes of foreclosure around that time. And nobody's going to give me the bill of sale for those automobiles and for those college educations and those diamonds.
But that really does make it worse when you have such a small place like that, because that the effect is going to be much more pronounced than like a Joel Osteen, where you have thousands of people giving $100. You have so very few people giving such a large amount.
Mhm.
Now I understand what you were talking about.
Mhm.
It changes things, and it underscores why this might be so incredibly angering, because the effect is so immediate. You have such a tight community where you can see its effect on everybody that you know in it, and it was so tight, so small, so tight that, oh my gosh, yeah, that really is angering.
Lene, do they fair game? Has anyone else spoken out? I am sure that they have, because he's from the pulpit. He said, people say we're a cult, and laughs it off, and the whole congregation assents, and so, yes, I'm sure people have spoken out, but the only people that he's interested in are the people that he has the sphere of influence over, which is his congregation. And those people that would say such a thing are just evil. They are so reprobate. They're on their way to hell. No passing go, no collecting $200. They're just headed to hell.
Mhm.
And and people in that congregation take their salvation very seriously.
Yeah.
Or they wouldn't be there. They couldn't be there if they didn't.
Yeah.
But it's such a difficult place to be, to be angry about that. And I understand, like, it's an awful thing to do to a family.
Mhm.
And, one can only hope that karma, the universe, God, however you see that, like, gets them. Um, you know, um, but in the meantime, it's really difficult, especially when you're passionate about wanting to do something about it,
Yeah.
And could you maybe just write like an open letter in the newspaper? Would that
I
make you
don't
feel
know.
better? Like
I don't
anonymously, just
know.
write a letter, and maybe not even name names, but just be like, there is a cult in your city that I was a part of for X amount of years, and don't even say when. And publish it in that way so you get it out and you get it out to people, but you're not naming names, you're not having to prove anything, but you're getting it off your chest. Like, I understand journaling is important, but sometimes in something like, and you know what, the people in the cult may never see it. They might, maybe there's some TV reporter who's like, oh, what's this, I mean,
Mhm.
there's a lot of ways you can do that and say something
You
without
know, I
being
don't I
caught.
don't really have a whole lot of confidence that, anybody would be interested enough to make it their pet project, because
Mhm.
there's probably a gazillion of those throughout
Yeah.
Southern California.
Mhm.
Probably a
Would it
gazillion.
but
Well,
would it
that
make you feel better to just get it out? I mean, like whether somebody picked it up or not, you can do letters to the editor, I mean that's a thing. You can do it, you can post under a surname or whatever. Would it just make you feel better to
I
get it
don't
out there
know.
to the
I
public
don't
to make
think
it
that would be the cathartic thing for me at this stage, but, uh and Zelda, it was a Christian thing, and, yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
don't know, I don't really know what to do with it. I
Mhm.
just and it's come up for a reason,
Right.
and my
Right.
anger has come up for a reason, and so I have something to process. I just don't
Yeah.
know where to start or what to do with it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and I think that's why Christy was suggesting is at least it would give you some way to perceptively address it or to give you some kind of outlet that you can do to correct the problem. But yeah, that
I can't correct a man who does not have a conscience.
yeah,
Right.
Yes. No, you can't.
Carol, I can feel for you. We were in this kind of same situation. And for me, again, it was hard for us because we had good friends and family that
Mhm.
were going to this church.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And we had to walk away.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They expected us and our children to be at church when the doors were open, no matter what.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Ours too. Ours too.
And if you were not, then you had an evil spirit that
Yeah.
was trying to take over your body.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah. Yeah. It was phrased and framed differently in
Yeah.
ours, but it's essentially the same thing,
Um,
you know?
ours called it spiritual warfare.
Yeah.
And they would literally call you out and have you come up in the front of the church
Yeah.
so they could get the evil spirits out of you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Even if there are a gazillion, I'm assuming Krista Melinda, you mean churches, it does not make your experience less important, but maybe telling your story without naming names first to see how it feels is where
Yes.
you're at right now, and that's okay. And so this is my platform. This is where I'm doing it,
Mhm.
Yeah.
you know?
Well, and it's important. I mean, Melinda's right. Your story is important,
Mm-hmm.
to share it and to share your anger and frustration and like that's real and it's got to be hard when you see uh someone take advantage of people in vulnerable positions in the name of God, knowing that that is not what the name of God is about. Like
Yeah.
that's got to be really difficult.
Yeah.
Um
And they
there's a
hide
lot
behind
of
the whole thing of Jesus saying, go
yeah.
sell all that you have and follow me.
Yeah, yes, exactly.
That's not what that means.
Our
No.
so-called pastor
Mm-hmm.
stood behind the pulpit and he said, "Give me your money and your prayers to God."
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I do understand how difficult it is because I do know that religion and faith and belief is important for everybody, whether that's God, Buddha, Allah, the universe,
Whoever.
irrespective of how it looks.
They just
Having,
manipulate it. They just
you know,
manipulate.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's very because it is, we are at our core designed to believe in something, whether that's our ability within ourselves or, like I said, the universe or God or however. It really is how we are designed. And it's really disgusting when you see people do that.
Mm-hmm.
And especially when those people are your friends. Like I was in church, I was not in a cult, but I grew up in church. And it's easy to see where somebody could twist that. And it's so sad that that happened and people lost their homes and their cars and their diamonds and that they were just so willing to do that. It's a hard thing to reconcile in itself, and then being in it and seeing it and then feeling very helpless and hand tied by it has, I mean, I can understand the frustration and the anger and the resentment that shows up, just like Tammy and hers. That's
I worked through mine.
Mhm.
But then again, because they have so much family in it,
Mhm.
I was family too.
Mhm.
I ended up going to another church that another part of this family had.
Mhm.
Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
These pastors ended up coming to that church, and I just found out like a month ago that these past leaders are now pastors of this church.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
Mm.
wow.
The town it was in, the first one, everybody called it the Kool-Aid Church.
Oh boy.
Oh, boy.
Where
Yeah,
can
it
I
is.
ask where this was at as far as geographically?
Me,
Yes.
myself,
Yes, Tammy.
New York State.
Okay.
Wow.
Why?
You
Heard that
know,
exact term used in another church. Is the reason I asked.
Zelda, I'm
What?
gonna posit something on this. It's too bad that the legitimate large churches don't take these cons on who are giving the church a bad name. I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a blanket generalization that if it's a large church, they've got too much to lose themselves to take on these cons.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. That's just how I
Unless
Ours,
they're
feel
as
about
big
it.
as Scientology, then Catholicism gets involved.
yeah. Ours wasn't a big church.
Okay.
Right.
Ours was a small congregation. They got people from that they knew from other states, whatever, family, all this, We're gonna do missions and we're doing this and we're gonna go up on Main Street because there's a psychic place up there and we're gonna boycott it and try to save these people.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
Oh,
favorite.
my goodness.
Well,
Oh, my
in essence,
goodness.
all they were trying to do is just get it closed down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which,
Well, you have a right to exist and con people, but this one person here doesn't have a right to make a living doing whatever it is they do,
We got in trouble, okay, because our son, Justin, um, decided, he was a teenager, probably 15. During church service, our son decided he was going to get into our vehicle and do donuts in the parking lot. This pastor and his wife told us, you will either discipline your child or we will do it for you.
Damn.
Oh,
Did they tell you what that was supposed to look like? Did they tell you what
Oh,
they had
yes.
in mind? They did.
He was supposed to get a whipping.
you try it, Bubba.
And he's old enough to drive. Huh.
Well, not then, not in New York State, but
Oh,
what, Stephen?
He was in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
the Bible.
When we first found out that our son was having severe addiction issues, we went to them and we asked them for help because they knew people in other states, stuff like that, which I tell you what, the other people we knew in Michigan were wonderful people. They told us when he was right there, there's no help for him.
Wow.
And
Which
this
shows
was
what they know about addiction. Nothing.
Yeah.
Absolutely nothing.
but this guy always stood up there and said, oh, I'm a recovering this and I'm a recovering that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the town called it a Kool-Aid church.
Okay. So
Yeah,
they had it was a small enough town that they had their number. See, these people get to hide out in a big city, a big sprawling city in Southern California.
Oh no.
Carol,
Yeah.
I'm wondering, have you tried? I don't know what effect it would have. It might do
Oh,
you
sorry.
no. It might do you no good. But I was just wondering, have you tried looking up, doing any web searches on this church or the pastor's name, and then like with a plus cult in a Google search and just see what comes up?
I haven't.
I mean, it was one of the things when I break up with, how do I say this? When I was in a cult, I was actually barely in because I break up with churches like I break up with girlfriends. I mean, it's none of this, oh, let's be friends. Like, no, Ben, I hate your guts. And it's like, okay, what are you really saying?
Yeah.
I want to see Dad. Okay, I'm okay with that.
Have to break everything down.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I got up. Oh,
But-
sorry. I'll let you finish. Sorry.
but one of the things I found when I started to realize this whole thing, what it was, that was what I was able to do. And at the time, there was the Cult and Awareness Network, which actually had a lot of information on it. Unfortunately, that network was taken down by, of all things, Scientology. But I was just wondering, I found that to be very therapeutic for me, and I was wondering if the same might happen for you.
Might.
But yeah, and who knows? There might not be.
Yes, full of hope.
But you know,
Yeah.
you never know. Maybe somebody typed up a quick, note about their experience.
These people married their children off at like as soon as they graduated, to the point where their son met this really nice young lady and they had her leave the Catholic girls' college she was in to go to another one up here. And they have 5 or 6 kids now. And they're only in
Yeah.
their, 30s.
Yeah.
I want to
Mm.
address CK. Can I?
Yes.
CK, I think, no, to be clear, no one's calling Christianity a cult.
Yeah.
We respect everybody's belief here.
Yeah.
And you
And
know,
I'm certainly not implying that. If it comes across that I have, I do not believe that Christianity in and of itself is a cult.
No,
I
me
think what
either.
this is talking about, CK, is how the cult, especially specifically the one Carol was in, took biblical things and twisted them to use it in a way that was not how it was meant. So
Yeah.
we respect everybody's belief here. We respect Christianity. I mean, a lot of us grew up
Definitely.
Christian, and there's nothing wrong with it. So you know, we're glad
know-
you're here, but we're not calling it a cult. So please
Yeah.
don't.
Yeah. Nobody's calling it a cult, and I don't think you are either. CK, I don't think it is. I think con artists can change it around and turn it into something dangerous. Exactly.
That's right.
Yes.
Exactly.
Because I know pastors here that are wonderful.
Yeah, I do
They
too.
are great people.
I do too.
But
100%.
I choose, my family and I choose not to go into a building.
Yeah. And I think maybe the only comment that could have got confused with it, stating it is that sometimes cults take Christian beliefs and twist those. I think we already said this. Like, it takes Christian beliefs and it'll twist it into something that is beneficial for them and only
Yes.
and only them.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I'm myself, and I don't think anybody here is discounting any religion at all, any belief system, just analyzing.
No.
Just
In fact,
analyzing what happens.
If I didn't respect Christianity, I would have named the cult name by now. But there are people in there still that I love dearly, and they are sincere Christians through and through.
And that's me.
And I respect.
I have family that is still involved with these people.
Yeah.
And I would never say it.
Because I know it would hurt them, because they're not if they're still there, they're not in a place to hear it.
Right.
And if they are, they'll hear what they need to hear, where they need to hear it.
Yeah. And to touch on that, my mom goes to an amazing church that she loves. One of the ex-pastors there is someone that I just adore. I have somebody coming to buy my chair and stuff, so I'm gonna go ahead and hop off and take care of that, because my dogs are gonna go nuts when they get here. If y'all are still back on when I'm done, I'll hop back on. If not, I love you all. It shouldn't take too long, but I love you all in case you're not done, but I should be done.
Okay.
If I offended anybody, I apologize.
Well, yeah, and if I didn't, it was not my intention to offend any religion.
Mine either.
Religion, philosophy, or anything like that. I'm going after this one place, and the only way that I know how to right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
I am coming for them, but only up to a certain point. I have not been able to name that name of that place yet, and the name of that pastor yet.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of it is out of respect for the people that I love that are still in.
Yeah.
Right.
And the thing is, it's not just the word cult gets thrown around a lot, and it's like you're not necessarily even bashing religion. It's just that is the term that's used for religions that are in the economic world. You have Ponzi scheme, pyramid scheme, things like that to describe
It
stuff.
is just like money. Yes, it is, isn't it? It is just like money. People do honest things with it, and they do dishonest things with it.
Yes.
So yeah,
religion is the same.
Yeah, it doesn't paint the religion. It doesn't even say that you're saying religion is bad or
right.
It's just sad.
And Carol, oh my goodness, I am so proud of you for coming and talking about this.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Sharing your truth.
And Henny,
Because-
I have been journaling about this a lot lately.
Oh, good.
You
Good.
know, but that, you know, it doesn't make that deep current, that river, deep current of anger go away yet.
Exactly.
It has not helped me arrive at a place of this, you know, I'm okay with this, because I'm definitely not okay with it.
Right, right. Where I've moved past it.
Mm-hmm.
My whole thing was to move past it with therapy and stuff was they have to live their life knowing what they did to so many people and their families.
Mm-hmm. And apparently they're okay with that. If they weren't, they wouldn't have been able to, you know, even if, like I said, let's play devil's advocate here. And even if the two are not related, that all these people gave up this money for on mortgages on their homes, and the vehicles and the college educations were not purchased with that money.
Mm-hmm.
If that were an honorable person, they would make sure that everybody got to have their homes and their cars
Yeah, it
and
would
their
have been given
lives
back.
not disrupted by having to move out because of foreclosure. You know,
Correct.
if that person were truly a pastor of honor, he would be just as concerned that his congregation have the things that his kids have.
Oh, now the one church I was in, they would help people, but it came at a price.
Yeah.
They always wanted
Yeah.
something back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had a thought on this, and CK, I think sadly a lot of
CK,
cults
I've
bring
never made that
Christianity
rule.
in.
CK, I'm offended that this subject comes up, and I thought the rules were no religion, no politics, no trolls, no profanity. None of those are my rules.
It may be TBL.
I guess if you want to talk
Mhm.
about anything you want to, the only thing I ask is that you own whatever it is that you're saying, you own it. It's yours. You're not accusing anybody else of anything.
Mhm.
I'm owning my feelings about what I saw. And so my channel is not any of those things. You can talk about anything you need to. That's the very first line on my channel on my description of my videos. Needing a meeting, talk about anything.
It's a safe space.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Mhm.
And you know, and I feel like my feelings are what they are. How do I invalidate them?
Mhm.
And we all have a right to our feelings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. What is your name?
Mine?
Yeah.
I'm Tammy.
Okay. Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
know why it's not showing the name tags on this anymore. I need to.
Yeah, I'm Tammy. That's my real name, actually.
I just maybe a little bit of clarity from my side here as well. Just CK, I don't think that anybody specifically was calling Christianity or any religion a cult. I think the issue is a lot of cults use Christianity, Catholicism, other religions to cherry pick from,
Yes.
take those statements, twist it, and turn it into something that they benefit from.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I can only say that I personally was never in a cult. My ex-partner was. And all of the things that I heard, it was a Christian cult. It's still around.
Yeah.
It's still huge. People
Yeah.
are still getting abused.
Yeah.
But they use things that they cherry pick from Christianity and the Bible to benefit them and to keep benefiting them.
Yes.
It's not that I don't think that anybody's hating on any specific religion or any specific, type of belief. It's just we're having a conversation about how cults manipulate.
Manipulation.
And I can't remember who it was on TLB last night. It was Izzy. Izzy had sent something on TLB last night. A cult is just a really abusive partner.
Yes. Yes, it is.
That's pretty
That's a
good.
great way to describe it. In fact, just before I left, I did have a phone conversation with the pastor,
Okay.
and I will always, always, always be so glad I said this. But I told him, you know what? Being in your church is a lot like being in an abusive relationship. And that is something that I personally know quite a lot about.
Yeah.
He wasn't hearing it, but I said it,
But
and he
good
knows I
for
said it.
you for speaking your truth. That's
Mm-hmm.
awesome, Carol.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And and there were a lot of ways that pastor reminded me of my brother who used to abuse me. A lot of similarities.
I mean, I believe in a higher power still. We do.
Yeah.
Our daughter that is adopted is Jewish by birth.
Okay.
Our one son is not Christian.
Mhm.
And that's his belief.
Yep.
Damn, full of hope.
Mhm.
It's 10 days in a Christian cult, and they're in 2020, and they're still phone me for money. Unbelievable.
That tells you where their priorities lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is that Jen who popped in?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, Jen.
Can you hear us?
Maybe not.
Can you hear us, Jen? Hi, Jen. Can you hear us?
There she is.
Yep.
Can you hear us? Oh,
Might be having technical issues.
Anyway, I'm not trying to stir anybody else up. I'm stirred up.
Yeah.
So it's probably par for the course.
But it's your platform.
But this is what I'm processing
I'm just
today.
say that this is your platform. It's called Needing a Meeting. We come here because it's a safe space.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't hear most of what you said. I was talking in general today, mainly referring to another video a few videos ago in which I held my time and didn't want to get in an argument. I'm certainly not now. Okay.
Fair enough.
Nope.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah.
Anyway, if I gave that impression that I don't if I'm triggered by somebody throwing a scripture at me in a way that feels judgy, yeah, I'll get my cankles up.
That's me. I'm right
I
with
will. Every time.
you. Mm-hmm.
First of all, who likes getting judged?
Nobody.
And you're going to use scripture to do it when Jesus says, "Judge not, lest ye be judged."
Yes.
Got a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if I've ever talked about religion, it's because my cankles got up and I felt judged.
And my big thing has always been also, we were told that, oh, you can't be around, so and so, this and that. They're sinners. And I'm like, but Jesus spoke to sinners. Jesus didn't teach in a church.
No, that's true. He didn't.
That's
He
my
went in the
big
highways
thing,
and the byways and the open sea and
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to listen to you guys now and just sit here and enjoy.
Okay. Nice to talk to you tonight, Tammy.
Good to
Oh,
talk
I'm
to you,
gonna
Tammy.
stay
Thanks for
on
coming on.
here.
Okay.
Just
Jen,
one
can you hear us
thing,
now?
though. I
Can
do-
you hear us now, Jen?
No.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I'm talking to anyway.
One thing I did want to say to you guys is I do appreciate all of your concern the other day.
Okay, good.
Good.
I was in
Because
my
that's, I mean, and it's coming from a place of wanting you to
Right.
be safe.
I was in my
you know.
feelings,
Yeah.
you know, and sometimes I get in my feelings and I'm very stubborn,
Hmm.
Yeah. Well,
but
we all can be. Yeah. Okay.
We all have our own things to be stubborn over, I'm sure.
yes, I
Yeah.
have, but then I was like, you know what? That was stupid. What are you thinking to do that for?
Right on. I'm glad that you see where we're coming from.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
do have a place to stay.
Good.
So
Very good.
I'm going to
Yeah.
be good.
Good. Excellent. As long as you're able to stay safe, that's all that we really care, because we want you around.
Well, if anything, I've already been told to allow the yes, Zelda, I agree.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
I have already been told by a family member that is in recovery
Okay.
that has been down there that to make sure just go to the police department and let them be aware, and even maybe go to like one of the churches that goes out in those places,
Right. You don't see
because
very
then
much
there's
of that, at least not in the bigger mega churches that have all the money.
no these guys go out on the street.
Okay.
But yes, I will be safe, and I appreciate you guys all.
Right on. Good deal.
Now next.
I interrupted both you and Christy Plant. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I was
I'm sorry.
sure no, I did. No, I did. I kept speaking over y'all, and you were saying something, and I chimed in, and I'm just stirred up today.
I'm not bothered by it at all, first of all, because that's gonna happen. This is the YouTubey things. We're all across the planet. I get it. No, I'm not bothered by it at all, and I'm just happy to hear you working through some of it, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because I feel
too.
like sometimes I like work through all of my stuff, and then I get off stream and it's like, damn, I talked about me the whole time.
And I love it. I love it. I always get something out of it when you do. I just want you to know that.
See, and I'm like
Okay.
that. I'm like, oh
Mhm.
my gosh, I just came on here and talked about my crap. Literally crap, I call it, And
Yeah.
somebody else probably had something more important than mine.
I don't think that anything's more important than another person's. I think that the universe, or whatever it is that we believe in, helps us bring that to the surface for that day. Really.
Yeah.
Because some days I do just need to sit quiet. I'll be honest. Last night I was processing a lot. As
Okay.
everybody's talking about their experiences, and
Yeah.
as much as I'm able to say right now without looking like a complete and utter baffling idiot on the internet,
No way.
I didn't realize I had a really bad relationship with food until I heard
Good.
some other people's stories. My grandmother taught me a certain way with food, and it's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. So I'm trying to process that, and then some of the verbal things in my last relationship brought it back up.
Okay.
And I was like, where is this coming from? I never understood it. And then we had last night's video, and I'm like, that's where that came from. Okay. And then I started cycling backwards to my childhood. I heard me
We're
again.
all exactly. We're all with talking and stuff.
Hey
We're
Jen, do you have YouTube playing in the background there? in the background there?
I paused it. Oh wait, no, I didn't pause it. My
Jen's
bad.
upside down.
Good Lord, I'm upside down.
I'm getting
Well,
I'm
you've
getting a
seen a
dessert.
lot of me today.
I'm getting a dessert.
There, it's. Am I sideways?
You
Am I
are
showing up
completely upside
sideways?
down. You are completely upside down.
Uh-oh.
So,
That better work?
so I'm
Yeah,
There you
no,
go.
I can see you straight up. Woohoo! And I can hear you. Can you hear us?
Jeez. I'm a mess today. Sorry, everybody.
There's still
Okay.
an echo.
No,
And I've-
And ha 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 ha. Oh, there we go. All right. You're funny, Ben. Huh?
Now, Jen, were
Yeah, but looks
you-
aren't everything.
So,
I wish
are
I
you
was
sure
in
you don't?
Australia.
Are you sure you don't have YouTube playing in the background?
Are you sure you don't have YouTube playing in the background?
Yeah, I turned it off.
Okay.
on your phone even,
Wait, let
it's
me check
double
my
that.
phone.
On your phone, even it's double that.
Hey,
Mhm.
hang on. Is that better now?
Let's double check.
Let's double check.
Let's double check. Let's double check.
Because it was on my phone.
Oh,
so I was
no.
like triple playing.
Oh no.
No?
It's
Here,
still
let me check
happening.
Yeah,
in
it's still
here.
happening.
So we hear two Jens. That's okay.
Then I'm going
Well,
to
we hear
flip
one
off
Jen,
and
we hear
stop
the two
annoying
of
you guys.
everybody else.
Jen, we are the two of everybody.
Oh, no, no. Aw.
Oh, Jen.
Aw.
Oh,
If she's still listening with me on my phone, sometimes YouTube will keep playing. So I have to close the YouTube and I have to close the Facebook thing. And there's just a bunch of things that I end up having to close to make sure I don't echo. So if you're using your phone, it's a common issue for me anyways.
you know, I didn't realize, well, years ago, I had an issue with food. And I still do sometimes. I've spoke on here about it.
Mhm.
Where when I am so stressed and I get upset, I tend not to eat.
Mhm.
But then when I do eat, I eat a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the binge eating for me didn't start until my ex. And I thought it was just a fear of the food being gone because he did his own binge eating. So it was like, but if I want that thing, I've got to eat it now so that it's not gone in the morning. So for a long time, I thought it was that, but analyzing a little bit further, no, I would just, there's some weeks with him where like a full entire week, I might have 1 or 2 meals. But then that stems back to my grandmother just after my mother passed away and the way that she was with me and food, because I gained weight quite quickly after my mother passed away because food became a comfort.
Never,
Okay.
honey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love everybody. I don't care, you know, race, religion, sexuality, anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's been it was a process yesterday, and I talked about it a little bit today in talk therapy. So processing it a little bit more. But when we are able to do another one of those meetings, I'm hoping to process enough to be able to speak a little bit more about it. But it's been a processing kind of couple of days.
That's amazing. I mean, I hope it's good.
It's difficult, but I think it's good, and I think it's for the better. Don't get me wrong. It's difficult. It's been an emotional couple of days. All that I can do is make calls and wait. And then yesterday's meeting happened. So yesterday at around 4:00, for some reason, my emotional state just shifted and went upside down completely. And then we did meeting and I'm like, oh, I'm processing. Oh, this might be a thing for me. And then I jump on and listen to Tommy last night, and there was a couple of points that like hit really, really hard. Like I knew he did time. I knew he was disconnected from his kids for a while. But to see what him and Spanx are like now and the connection that they have now, that's hope for me. because me
on.
and my daughter were disconnected for almost 11 years.
Yeah.
So for me, it's hope. And I know that we're doing the work. I know that we're putting it in. I know our relationship is better. But then also somebody had said something about Scientology and how to properly protest. And then it hit me. It's like, maybe I'm in this province for a reason.
Yes.
Maybe I'm not allowed to go home for a reason.
Okay.
Maybe I'm going through this to speak up at some point. So I'm going through all of the legal avenues to figure out what I can really do.
Okay.
I'm very proud of
I'm
you
proud of you too.
for, you know, processing and
Yeah.
looking at that
You're
stuff
not running
and
away from
saying, hey,
anything. That's amazing.
I wish, you know what, the old me, the scared me. There was a scared me, that's the old me, and then there's the me that is now, and I'm focusing on me and my kids and what I need to do. The old me would have run, and its ugly face reared up just after I came back from Ontario, and it was like, you want to run. And it was like, no, I just needed a couple of days to get back into the swing of things. And I've done so many calls. I don't know here. I'm just going to turn my camera around. This is what my bed looks like every single day. And then I clean it up, and I've got papers everywhere. I've got notes everywhere. And I go from 7:30 in the morning until 4 o'clock every afternoon.
Wow.
Phone calls, research, whatever it is that I need to be getting done. So one of the social workers today actually told me, she's like, you're actually looking tired today. You need to stop. And we need to have a conversation tomorrow to like break down priorities, I think. Which is probably a really good thing, because I feel like it's the ADHD and the squirrels running around. Just I need to do everything.
see, yes, I can understand that. I can understand that because, like the other day, you know, I was so gung ho.
Yeah.
I didn't care what anybody said to me. I was just going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I understand feeling that
And
way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do.
then my husband looked at me like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
And I had somebody else like, no, you're not.
Yeah. Yeah.
CK was asking if you have talked to the person in Tennessee.
Yes, every day.
Okay. Do they see your son?
We don't know yet.
Okay.
Thank you, Zelda.
We're hoping, you know, at some point, but this person isn't in the area he's at.
Okay.
So, I mean, my whole thing is I know how to work around stuff and how to word it. I am learning how to word things differently with my son. Thank goodness for the lifeboat.
Yes.
Because if
I wouldn't be here if not for the lifeboat.
Yeah. If not, I would be messaging him, saying to him, listen, you are killing your family. You are destroying it. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not.
Good.
I messaged
Because it's
him
not
the
helpful.
other day. And what?
Because that wouldn't be helpful to anybody.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
So I messaged him and I said to him, I go, you know what? We love you very much. And we understand you have a disease. And we want to be here to help you in that.
Okay. Hey,
But
Jen.
we are scared for
Hi,
you.
is that better?
Yes.
I think it is. Yay.
Hi.
How are you
Nice
today?
to see you.
How's your mom? How are you? How are
Okay.
things?
Okay. So I'll start with me. Let's do that because I'm supposed to do that, right? I'm exhausted, which I think is the same answer I've given you all since Friday. But sorry, I was just reading that. I figured out a way to read the comments while I'm on here, if it's, just in case it's important.
Full of hope, me also.
I'm exhausted. My understanding is both my mom and Steve are going home today.
Okay.
But I keep trying to go up to the hospital. And my mom's like, no, just wait. And then she sends me this photo of this giant tank on wheels and oxygen tank on wheels.
Oxygen. Yeah.
And then this other big thing, which I imagine is like an at-home sit it down somewhere. No, the one that's at home sit it down somewhere central is fine. They just have to get her a really long cord for her oxygen little
Love
nose.
you guys too.
Yes.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Cannula, I think it's called.
I don't know what, but so I can't, she's not letting me, they haven't said anything though. So, I'm not, she's not sure if she is going home today or I don't know, but that giant tank on wheels that's not going to work for a portable tank. It's just not.
Yeah, my father
For the
had.
walker. Like, how are you gonna?
Yeah.
So my stepdad has to awkwardly pull that. They need one of those ones with the.
Yeah.
But
my father had one of them eventually.
Mm-hmm.
In the house, he had a in-home one. But yeah, I remember having to carry tanks into the vehicle for him.
Yeah, but they have those little ones with like a.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
A much more.
Well, my dad's been gone 21 years now.
Oh yeah, it was different then.
So.
Yeah, I think they have those like little satchel ones now. I just don't know how it would work in the States, but here I know that you'd have to request it and get approved, and then you can get the insurance provider involved, and blah 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 blah. So I know we're not that far. We're just across the border from each other, but still.
Literally, I can see Canada from my bedroom, but but we couldn't be more further apart, honestly.
I know.
In this day and age, but
I can drive 2.5 hours and be in Ontario.
I'm gonna make a brag then, Tammy, and I'm gonna say that I can drive for 10 minutes and be in Windsor.
Oh,
and that includes
y'all are so much closer to my home than I am.
Where's Windsor?
That includes tunnel time.
Where's Windsor?
Yes,
Windsor is south. It's along the Detroit River and Lake St. Clair. It's south, 4 hours south of Toronto, 2 hours south of London, Ontario.
Okay. Well, see, I'm in New York State by Niagara Falls.
I'm very familiar. Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys are you guys are close still, but I know the Niagara Falls area better, but Sarnia is close to you, isn't it?
Yeah, Sarnia is literally, we have the Blue Water Bridge there at Port Huron, Michigan. Hi, Christy. Yeah, we've got a bridge in Sarnia / Port Huron. So that's another one of our border crossings. Is that where you are, in Sarnia or near Sarnia?
No, my first ex, Mandrew, the one who's here sometimes, his grandmother and her boyfriend are in Sarnia. So I had done some trips that way, and that bridge that you're talking about on the Canadian side.
Yeah.
They used to have a chip truck there called Chips Under the Bridge. And that's where I got addicted to like gravy and like spraying malt vinegar all over my French fries.
Vinegar is so good on French fries.
So you look like you might be a family member. Yes, it's very Irish of you.
I love it.
Windsor is one day in 22 hours for me.
Lord Kiss Freak, and that's because you live in the tundra.
Yeah, he does.
You're in the tundra. The frozen tundra of Upper Canada.
Yeah. I've wanted to go to Alaska, but my husband's like, no.
I would love to go to Alaska, but not during the winter when it's dark.
Not during this. Yeah. I want to experience the near 24-hour day. I just want to I just
Yeah.
want to experience that once. That's kind of one of my bucket list things.
I want to do the one where it's light all day and then it gets dim for like 45 minutes at like 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. Fun fact about Detroit for anyone I haven't already bored this with. Detroit is north of Canada. Detroit is north
Oh,
of
so it
London.
is. That's
Yes,
Yes,
right.
it is, because
Detroit is.
people we knew would come here where we live and drive up and through and around and down to southern Michigan, their home.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a big joke about the Journey song "Don't Stop Believin'" and the uh, born and raised in South Detroit. There's no
Yeah.
there's no such thing. South Detroit is Windsor, Ontario, Canada.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
So, well, so it looks like, okay, so first they said, let's just get back to my mom really quick. First they said that she had to walk around a couple times without the oxygen on before they would let her go home, and she had. I've been all over both. I've been all over both countries. Actually, that used to be my job. So she was supposed to walk around a couple times without the oxygen on, but I didn't check in with you last night, and I tried to, Carol. I was here, but
I know it. I know it.
somebody
And I was
else needed a meeting more than I did, so I just went ahead and popped off.
well. I'm
It's
sorry
cool.
that you didn't get a chance to say what you
Right,
needed to
Steve and I
say.
just jumped on the phone together and had our own little meeting.
Okay. Okay.
We did this morning too
What was that?
on Discord. Were you on the Discord this morning?
I was, yeah.
Okay, yep.
I recognize your voice. So this is the face that goes with that voice. Only
I have a lower voice.
I did too until I quit smoking 3 months ago.
Good job.
Yeah,
That's
Hey,
amazing.
Good job.
I'm down to one
Yes.
cigarette.
Hey,
but
that's
I-
awesome. Listen. Look, I'm doing harm reduction, so I'm not completely off the nicotine. Okay.
That's
Look.
all right. That's all right. Harm reduction. We'll take harm
Yeah,
reduction.
okay.
It is better than 2
Henry
packs
is,
of
I've noticed.
cigarettes a day.
I think that listen, I'll tell you a secret that a friend told me, and it turned out to be absolutely true. When you smoke your last cigarette and you decide it's your last cigarette, you're done. It was the last cigarette in a pack. I looked at it, and they're just the Marlboro 72. So for anyone from Canada, just like regular cigarettes, like Canadian cigarettes, that I'm totally blanking on names right now. I want to say Parliament, but that's not right.
Demorier?
Demore is another one, but yeah, because they're shorter. So I smoked the Marlboro 72s that are short, like a Canadian cigarette or a European cigarette.
I've only had them in Canada.
Yeah. Well, that's how I got hooked on them was Toronto. I spent a lot of time in Toronto because it's so close. Listen, if you're growing up in your 20s, teens and 20s, and you have a choice to go to Chicago or Toronto, granted I did both, but I did way more Toronto than I did Chicago because in the 80s and 90s, Toronto was like the Disney version of New York / Chicago. Like it was clean and it was safe. And
New York? What do you mean?
Well,
you even say Toronto right. I'm impressed.
New
Like
York.
you say it like you're a Toronto. Okay, so people say Toronto, but when you're from Toronto, you just say Toronto.
Yeah, people that aren't from Detroit say Detroit all the time.
Yeah.
So I get it. But yeah, I'm a real Canadian. Sorry, not sorry. I mean, I don't have the double citizenship.
Yeah.
I mean, I grew up straddling 2 countries, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I've gotten a lot of grief about that. Like, that's a foreign country, and I'm like, it's Canada.
It's Canada. No, it's not.
It's Canada. And if anything,
Canada.
we are the negative influence in this relationship. We're the bad influence in this relationship. The United States has messed up Canada. And on behalf of the United States, I apologize to Canada
Me too.
because I love Canada.
Well, I appreciate the apology. Now we just need to, work on the rest of the government.
Good luck with that one.
Yeah, I don't speak for the government of the United States because trust me, if they know they know I exist, but like they don't care about me at all, except for the fact that I guess I should be proud of this. I am on the Secret Service watch list. Not for any reason that. So I used to work in something called experiential marketing. Experiential marketing is taking a marketing ploy, or not really ploy, but like a marketing plan for a client, like goods or services, really is what it is.
Can I interrupt really quick?
No.
I just want to say thank you, everybody. I gotta go. I need to eat dinner.
Am I running you out, Tammy? Like I ran you out. You're the first one.
No. I don't want to sit here and eat my cheesy pasta and chicken breast in front of anybody.
All right. Okay. I thought I was, you're going to give me a complex. This is twice in one day.
Really?
I thought my stories were interesting.
They are. I'm gonna be in the
I'm still invested here.
Nothing like Jen coming in at the end and extending everything.
No, I'm gonna be in the chat though, Jen.
All right, honey. Thank you for saying that, because I'd have been like, oh, geez, I ran her off twice in one day.
No, you did. All right.
Look, Ben won't even look at me. He's mad at me. Bye, Tammy. I'll see you later.
See you later.
Bye, Tammy.
Ben won't look at me because he's mad at me for starting the Ben trend. But I changed it up because you're Ben Bang Bang.
Can I finish the story? We want to know the end of the story.
Those funny names up there, you're going to get funny nicknames. I am not going to apologize to you.
Somebody's got music playing. Who is that?
Oh, the stuff, the mellow?
It's not me. It's not me, and all the prayers not happening next door, so it's definitely not me.
Oh.
Silent in here at the moment.
Is that you, Cosmic?
No, I've only got like mellow. Sounds like a hippie shop in here. Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm hearing.
Oh, okay. I should turn it down then. Normally you can't hear it because it's kids.
Yes, Smooth Rock Falls, Lord Kiss Freak. I did, and I expected you to be up in a Nunavut.
Nunavut.
Everything north of the Grand Canyon, just so we're clear. Everything north of the Grand Canyon is all tundra. All of it. I don't care. Colorado, Iowa, all of it's tundra. All of it.
So you're saying that any place that gets ice and snow is tundra?
Yes, and they're surrounded by polar bears.
I'm just saying, though, Barry is very tundra.
Yep. Yep.
Barry is so very.
Well,
I'm sorry. So the Secret Service list. Oh. I'm trying to do a little self-care here and talk about some fun stuff and not. Oh, there's Thomas.
Hello, Thomas. Kitty.
He's
hello, cutie.
He's the biggest camera whore I've ever known. I had therapy this morning. I'm like, would you stop? I'm having therapy. He's just so
I'm these cats gonna make me get a cat.
Okay. So the last time I did an activation in Washington, D.C., I was there for 2 months. I stayed at this apartment complex, a high-rise apartment building in Arlington, just behind the Iwo Jima. You're trying to grab my hand. And we were doing. Just don't mind my sidekick. It's just me and my shit. This is my version of Squirrel. It's not going to be as much fun as Squirrel is because she's chiller than he is. So we were doing a thing for HP. HP was they bought Palm. I don't know if everyone remembers the Palm Pilots. They bought Palm, so they were coming out with a phone that was kind of like it was technically the last Palm. So I was on an activation. There was 4 cities. It was New York, Los Angeles, Seattle, and Washington, D.C. I don't know how I got picked to do the Fortress of Solitude, but doing a guerrilla marketing campaign in Washington, D.C., I almost went to jail 6 times. Just for the first time was when we were Stella is a tuxedo too. I have another one. Her name is Frank. They're both tuxedos. She's more camera shy. So we had a black Suburban, so I felt like I was a Secret Service agent with my local workers, just driving around in my Suburban everywhere. I did almost get hit by Joe Biden's Secret Service. His crew driving into the White House. I agree. Well, Houston, to be fair, Houston in Texas is Houston. Houston, that's lower Manhattan. That's New York City. But yeah, I get what you're saying. See, I'm interacting too. I'm feeling kind of lonely. I've just been in the hospital. So yeah, Joe Biden's that would have been a great lawsuit if they would have hit me. His motorcade driving into the side of the White House, and I thought, man, I want that job. So we had a Suburban and we had a food truck, and we were giving away free iced tea and free iced coffee. It was DC in June and July. It was so hot. It is because everything, the sun bounces off the buildings, and it's like 115. Yeah. And the first time we got stopped, it was the food truck because it drove too close to the Capitol building. So I had to pull over because I was the manager and my assistant manager was driving the food truck. So I had to pull over, and then 3 Secret Service cops came around me, and I was like, oh my God, we're just trying to give people free iced drinks to promote HP and I'm trying to remember what there's a boxer. Anyways, Manny Pacquiao, I think. Or is that a baseball player? You can tell I'm really good at the sports. I think it was Manny Pacquiao. Anyway, so we were promoting the phone, and there's boxer. There was this big boxing match coming up, and you try to explain that the first time it's difficult enough, but they let us go. He had to back out and follow us on the outer road around the Capitol building. Then I got threatened to be arrested for parking outside a farmer's market. My favorite was when we decided on Constitution Avenue that we were just going to pull over on the side of the road like a bunch of other vehicles had done, and we were going to do it there, not in the National Mall, because that's a national park. Well, so is Constitution Avenue. Didn't know that till that day in 2011. And I had like 6 Secret Service vehicles pull up on me because it's across the street from the White House, and tell me that if I didn't have everyone packed up and taken away in 5 minutes, I was going to be arrested because they were sick of dealing with me. Oh my God. It's kind of like, then I had a lady in if anyone's ever been to DC, I don't know, there's a lot of very uppity political folks there. And there was this woman in Georgetown, which was the only place that ended up that I was able to park every day. And there used to be a show called DC Cupcakes, and it was Georgetown Cupcakes. And they were really good. They let us park next to their building, which was great because they always had a line outside their building. And they gave us a ton of really yummy cupcakes. That was a lot of fun. But this woman, so one of my local staff walked up to her and, asked her if she'd like, a free cup of iced coffee or iced tea. She grabbed that iced coffee. She started screaming at him. She said, "What about me makes you think I need anything for free?" So I heard that and I walked up and I was like, "Man, we mean no offense by it, we're here promoting this phone and this fight. And she looks at me and she goes, you, and like threw the iced coffee in my face. and it, you guys know me by now. Obviously, my answer was, wow, that felt so good. It's like 110 degrees out here. You just made my day. I hope that you enjoy the rest of your day. And she turned around and flipped me off. But, I think hopefully later. Oh, yes, I will take it from religion to kitties, Lene. I was trying to talk to CK, but CK wasn't having any part of me. Because I am the kindest, most open person that has this weird ability to talk to anybody about politics or religion without getting in a fight.
Right on.
Or as my therapist, like she has nicknamed me, I am a unicorn.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a unicorn because I'm so uniquely amazing.
Yeah.
I just said something positive about myself, and I was only half trying to be funny.
That's
It's
amazing.
getting better. It's getting better. I think I
It's
just made
awesome.
myself blush a little bit. Well, if I proved anything this week, it's that I can fly between two hospitals 30 miles from each other like that.
Oh my goodness.
Two people that I dearly love, including the person who I grew inside and forced my way out of, almost ruining her. Two people that I love so much almost died right in front of my face on Friday. So yeah, I've been definitely quiet and in my feelings, but
Yeah.
Carol, if it wasn't for you all on Saturday starting the first cry, I don't know how I would be right now. You know.
Well, you sound good. You look good.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I did have this morning, and I haven't gone to either hospital, even though I keep trying to go to both. And both of them are like, no, not yet. Now I'm just waiting for Vicky here, and then I'll run to the road and see Steve and Vicky back off to Flint, if he is leaving today. I don't know.
Okay. And when, I guess he'll get word by this evening?
About both of them, I should know soon. Okay. My dad is so cute. He keeps checking up on my mom every single day. They haven't been married since 1977, but they're very good friends, which I'm blessed to say.
Yeah, that's great.
Ben, I really wish that you would stop talking so much. Why are you so chatty? You come in here and you're just like me, I. It's all about, everything's about me, Ben. What's going on? You think that this is just all about you all the time?
I'm trying to figure. Actually, I am trying to figure out what the hell that blue thing is.
It's a Squishmallow.
Yeah, it's a Squishmallow.
Wait, what kind of Squishmallow is it? My 15-year-old niece
Ray
with these. What is it?
Its name's Ray.
Oh, Ray.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is it a raccoon?
No, it's just like it's got like little wings.
Oh.
It's like a flying pig, I think.
Oh, I was going to say it looks like a pig.
Yeah, it's like a flying pig. Yeah. No, it's just like a support toy.
I could use, if they have, well, they don't have, I don't think they have a unicorn Squishmallow. My sister found a pickle for my niece. My niece is 15, but that's okay. They have a pickle Squishmallow. And she's so cool. And I'm like, I saw a narwhal, but I didn't see a unicorn. I was like, maybe I should get like a good sized narwhal and sleep with that. Like in my own little unicorn.
They're super soft, and because the texture is I don't know, there's something about the texture. I see it and I'm like,
I'm like that though. I'm tactile like that. I like certain textures. I get it.
Yeah.
I'd probably sleep on it and drool all over it, so I'd ruin it.
Yeah, I have a pillow that my dog's ruined because she likes to sleep on top of it.
Yeah.
It's spelled REI, right?
REI, yeah.
So it's a purple Pegasus.
Everything is
You're the best.
Aw,
And I have a
that's cute.
squishmallow obsession, and I have a site that I go to find them all out. So
I don't know this one's name.
So is there a unicorn or just that?
there's 3 or 4 different unicorns. You might just have to go onto eBay or something like that because they're discontinued.
Aw.
Man,
So-
that's like buying Ronnie the cow. Do you know how much money it cost me to buy my niece Ronnie the cow 4 years ago on eBay? Oh my gosh.
But if you wait,
The big one.
it's usually, I would say, Easter and Christmas are the 2 big times that I've seen the unicorns or fantasy animals
Okay.
be released. And then all of the other holidays are like standard.
Unicorns are real. I saw it on YouTube.
YouTube doesn't lie to us.
That's right.
I came into my house, you think unicorns are real. I've got unicorns
Nobody
everywhere.
lies on the internet. Everybody.
Right?
Oh my gosh, it feels so good to be silly. This is what I needed.
Right
I needed
on.
to be silly. I needed to be silly for a while.
There's a famous quote, and it goes, always trust
Little
everything you
like
see on the
this?
internet, and it's by Abraham Lincoln.
No.
Last night meeting really helped me. I woke up with aw.
Yeah.
I'm happy to hear that. That's Rose, right? Full of Hope is Rose.
So that's
no.
Rose, right? The lady that was in red.
No,
No, I
Rose.
think
Rose
Rose
is
is
Rose
Rose.
K.
Okay, Full of Hope
you're
is.
Paola, right? Isn't that
What
right?
is?
Whomever you are, I'm just very, very excited that happened for you.
Yeah.
I think it was a much needed topic, and I know that many people struggle with it, but just to hear that somebody had a breakthrough, that's
Yeah,
amazing. That's
Yeah.
really amazing.
it
That's
is.
that's what I wanted to talk about yesterday because you guys were talking about what you talked about.
Yeah.
And then Carol, you highlighted my video about how I would purge for just over a year after I OD'd. It was a control thing. And I
Yeah.
wasn't binging beforehand. It was the only thing that I could control to show myself I wasn't dying. If that
Oh, yeah. In a weird way, in the way that our little addled, addicted brains, it does make sense. You know what I mean?
Ben, is that your Secret Service costume?
Truth be told, this is actually my hangover outfit, but I don't get
Hangover, Secret Service, same thing, right?
It's the same thing. Haven't you heard what those guys get up to?
I used to have to get drunk to get hungover, but now with old age, it just happens.
Wake up. Just wake up and you got a hangover.
Oh, Bruce, was that the Beanie Babies that they used to do, or just you mean the
I
little
feel like
stuff?
I remember those little.
Oh, yeah.
I've got so many Beanie Babies too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had
Not-
unicorn
not
Beanie
gonna
Babies.
lie, I've eaten a lot of meals at Mick Garbage, but I have not been since I've been unwell in the last 7 months. Which, by the way, I don't know how I made it through this week with all my digestive issues, but yeah. So I used to after my overdose. So when I overdosed at 17, actually a block away from here, which is crazy, right? But I was 17 and no one would take me to the hospital because I was a minor and a runaway.
What?
Yeah,
That makes no sense.
they didn't want to get busted for giving a minor runaway with a record who was a ward of the state drugs and then take her to the hospital and get busted. So I had to, again, I'm going to go ahead and quote Mask because apparently that's what I'm doing this week is quoting the movie Mask. Is I just had to make myself well. I just had to keep myself alive, and I felt myself die. I slipped down into this like dark pit. And I guess if I really wanted to like go deep into that, and be like, oh, I guess I'm going to hell. But it didn't feel like that. It just felt like just like sinking down, and the light of the room was like you can't see. It was at the very top of this air, and it was really quiet, but I was screaming as loud as I could. And my roommate / friend who got me into this situation was like looking at me, and my mouth was wide open. She thought I was dead, and then somehow I like came back into my body and was screaming. And so I was born with anxiety, but that's where the panic disorder came. And then that's when I would purge, because I would just randomly have panic attacks, like in cars or just laying in bed, nothing, no reason. And this is 1988, right? So the only thing I could think to do, and I was living with my mom and my little sister, who was 3 at the time, and all I could think to do is go in the bathroom and stick my finger down my throat and just get whatever was in there. That was just my brain's way of proving to myself that I'm not dying.
Wow.
So yeah, that was my little purging story. But I didn't. But
Wow.
people were talking about binging, so then I was like, well, I'm not going to bring that up because they're talking about binging, and I
We,
didn't binge.
it was an open topic for all things food, eating disorders. Yeah.
But you know, I mean, I have a complicated relationship with food. I do, but that's really the one story that sticks out to me the most, that had a really rough impact on me.
Yeah.
Because I also, the digestive problems that I've had all my life, I made even worse by doing that. But you know, whatever. I survived ODing without anyone's
I'm so glad you
assistance.
did. Yeah.
That's
Wow.
why. That's not why, but that's one of the fun reasons that I came up with the Xena Turner moniker. Because Xena is the warrior princess. I also consider Xena to be the anti-Xenu.
Yeah.
And I mean, who's stronger than Tina Turner?
Nobody.
Right? Nobody, exactly. And so that's why I chose the Beyond Thunderdome photo, and I did that first to kind of do like a preview, because I screwed up changing the name and it wouldn't let me do it for another however. I mean,
Yeah.
is it been
14.
14? I know better than anybody.
Ben knows.
So then I changed it. Obviously, right now I have a picture of me and my mom up, because it helps everybody understand who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know,
Right
and
on.
I'm honoring her on all of my platforms right now. It's a picture of me and my mom. And I'm not going to talk about her on my channel, because my family actually doesn't even know that my channel exists.
Okay. Okay.
It's fear. They know that I'm doing all of this stuff about the troubled teen industry, and that I'm involved in the SPTV family. They know about the lifeboat. They know about you guys. They know about my friends and everything that I'm involved with. They just don't know that I'm sharing my story. And because I do mention my parents, and I don't want either one of my parents' feelings to get hurt, because I don't blame either one. My mom had nothing to do with it. In fact, she was entirely against it, but my dad had custody. So it was his choice to send me away. But you know, my sister gets easily embarrassed by me, so I don't tell my sister. But my niece knows, so I imagine that they're gonna all know soon, because she is 15. Why I thought it was a good idea to share it with a 15-year-old, just the greeting video I shared with her.
Okay.
And but I don't know, she's pretty good about keeping my secrets, because
Right on.
you know. Anyways,
I understand that, because this feels like my safe space where I can share my things without everyone else who already knows, who already has an opinion on my life. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's nice, Christy, right? That you can you can make a new group of friends and still be I guess you should say actually be your fully authentic self, because this is how this new group of friends is going to get to know you as your authentic self, not the masks we put on to make the people in our lives comfortable, right?
Yeah.
So
and also, you know, they still judge me for all the mistakes that I've had recently, you know. And, like, I'm not the same person that I was then, you know. So
that's right.
Absolutely.
But they still treat me like I am.
because they have issues, they have judgment issues, and that is their issue. And
Yeah.
you just keep coming back to us so that we can remind you how amazing you are.
Yeah.
And then if they're lucky, they can catch up with the rest of us.
Yeah.
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 And if they're not lucky, they can just go away.
And if they're not lucky, then you know what? Those are less people you have to spend money on or time or energy. And I know that that's difficult. And I've disconnected from my family, a few my different both sides of the family at different times, and both a couple times, just because there was so much toxicity going on. I get it. Like you
Yeah.
just have to do that for yourself. Luckily,
Yeah.
finally at 53, I'm in a position where I have a great relationship with both of my parents. And I think that because I've got an answer of what was the moment that actually, not everybody gets a moment in their life, right, where they can point and go, oh, that's the moment where my life was just destroyed.
Yeah.
And I didn't even have words for it. And then to find out
Yeah.
at 52 years old what it is, it might sound like, oh, boo-hoo, what a sad story. And that's not how I look at it. If you go to my channel and you watch the video of the 1-year anniversary of the day that I found out about the troubled teen industry and I'm a survivor, first of all, it was, I can laugh because I'm pretty sure that Carol watched it and Cosmic watched it. It was 4 a.m. and I was bleary-eyed exhausted, but I was on such a high that I'd made it a year after finding out, and 18 months after white knuckling it for a therapist. I finally found a trauma therapist, and I'm working through so I can be, what I like to be for other. Wait, honey, so us not so beautiful people can't hit the like button? I don't understand what you're thinking.
Oh, you're beautiful.
Oh goodness.
Wait till I start going live, and I hope you all are going to come into my live. But what's funny is I don't know what on earth I'm doing. Like, it's just going to be like my stand-up show, and then I'll have like my friends pop in and do little, like, I have no idea, but I have to figure. My big issue is figuring out days and times around everybody else's schedules. We have so many, we don't have a ton of schedules that are set, and I don't follow everybody's schedule. Like, I can't follow Reese's schedule because
She
nothing
doesn't have one.
on, I think, doesn't she?
She wants to go on, and she goes on for as long as she wants to be on, and I respect that because I have a feeling that I'll be like that. I know that Paul's not streaming right now. I am in contact with him, but very little, so I'm going to reach out to him again after we get done. He hasn't been streaming, but I know Sharon TKD Life is she's the 9th, I think she has her first one.
Surviving Together, right? That's her channel.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. And I don't remember, but it is on upcoming. She has a thumbnail with an upcoming on it.
Yeah, it's Friday. I just can't remember what time.
Yeah, I think it's 6:30, 6 or 6:30, but don't quote me. Please check that. But I'm gonna wait. I might have started my page first, but I'm gonna wait till she does her first live before I do my first live.
Okay.
I'm gonna support her first live and see how it goes before I do mine.
Well, see, the thing is, I try and watch many people as possible, but if I don't, I always try and catch them up on replay. Replay crew for the win.
Yeah.
I'll be on replay for that one for Surviving Together because I'll have Wee Man this weekend, so I'll watch it Sunday after he leaves. Because I'm not a Super Bowl person, so I'm just not going to watch the halftime show until the next day. I'll YouTube it and then, see the halftime show.
I'm not going to lie. I'm watching the Super Bowl because I want to watch the Kansas City Chiefs beat San Francisco 49ers ass. For the entire Detroit metropolitan area when I say that.
It's all sports ball to me.
It's usually sports ball except when it comes to my team. And when my team gets this close to the Super Bowl for the first time ever, it's a very big deal.
What's your channel name? Zena Turner, Jen.
What's
your
my
channel
family
name?
name?
Yeah,
My
your channel name.
my middle name's Marie. No, channel name.
Your channel name.
Between the cracks.
Between the cracks.
Which I've been told is one of the best YouTube names that they've heard of before, which I think is pretty awesome because I'm an idea girl.
Is the Chiefs the one that the Taylor Swift chick is following around?
The Chiefs, they're fooling around, all right.
Oh yeah, they are.
No, is Taylor Swift following? Is the Chiefs the one that Taylor Swift's boyfriend plays for?
Travis
I think
Kelce.
so.
That guy is
yeah.
adorable. I mean, listen, he's no Jason Momoa, but he's pretty amazing.
Hey, guess what? My lawnmower's name is Jason.
Okay, named after who?
Jason Momoa.
Okay, then he's the only acceptable Jason. The word Jason
because you know
is a very
he's
bad
my mower.
word.
My lawnmower.
He's my mower. I love it. I love it. I used to call him Jason Mimosa. So
You're so witty. I love it. Jason Momoa.
Well, you guys, it is 10 minutes until sundown over here, and it's been a
we
little
should definitely get you out to the barn.
Yeah, I got to get to the barn.
Yeah. Sorry to make it long.
It's okay. If you guys want to stay on and keep talking, I can go do my thing and let y'all keep going if you want.
Oh no, I have like 8 text messages that I have to answer and see what the status of my mom and Steve is right now. But thank you. Thank you for you guys. Thank you for staying extra for me. I did try to get in earlier, to be fair.
So is it called Between the Cracks?
But again, as always, I got caught in between the cracks. I did. Yep, that's the story of my life, babe.
So Lord Kiss Freak's gonna subscribe after the live.
Oh, to me?
Mm-hmm.
I thought I already subscribed.
Oh, thank you. Are people resubbed? So it's happening to me too. Okay. I wondered because I had lost a sub, and I was like, and I'm not obsessed with the subs and the likes and all that, but since I'm additionally growing the community like everybody else, I'm going to tell the community, right? Like,
yeah,
but that's awesome. I appreciate it. And I don't even mind if people subscribe and check it out and realize it's not for them, but they checked it out and then I'm good. But otherwise,
best day ever. I just became the 69th subscriber.
Oh my gosh, you stay there.
Nice.
I want to please it at 69. Please.
Nice.
All right. I'm gonna jump off though, so I can say goodnight really, really quick.
Good
And
night.
I love y'all. Thank you so much again for this evening.
Thank you.
Love you, Sage. I'm so proud of you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
I have to go too. I've got so much to do.
I'm gonna let everybody go. So I love you, ladies.
Love you
too.
If I don't make it tomorrow, I'll be here soon.
Right on.
All right, ladies. Have fun, Carol, with the animals in the barn.
I will.
Bye.
Bye. Yes, make it a great night, everyone. Thank you for being here. This is a great place to be. I look forward to it every single day. You guys are the best, the best. So anyway, that was my thing today. It just came up today. I don't know. I just kind of woke up with a bee in my bonnet about it. So thanks for letting me talk about it. And hope to see you again next meeting. And until then, y'all, peace.